Hi, I'm Ryan Breen, and welcome back to Breen Basketball, and I'm back for my second video in 2 days to talk about the Deaaron Fox trade. So, somehow this isn't the craziest trade of the deadline. Usually it would be. You have two All-Stars getting traded, and a whole bunch of picks. So, basically, the basis of the trade is Deaaron Fox is going to the Spurs, along with Jordan McLaughlin. Then the Sacramento Kings are getting Zach Lavine and 3 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks, as well as Sissoko. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know who that is, and I watch a whole lot of basketball. And the Bulls are getting Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and their own 2025 first-round pick. So, I mean, first impressions is the Spurs walked out like complete bandits. They got their point guard of the next, 8 years for nothing. They gave up, Trey Jones and Zach Collins and, a few picks. But, some of these picks are, useless. A 2025 first-round pick from the Hornets that's top 14 protected. The Hornets are, the third worst team in the league right now. That pick is not going to convey. So that turns into 2 second-round picks. 2027 first-round pick from the Spurs is interesting, but the Spurs are probably going to be, a top 3 team in the league in 2027. So, once again, not that interesting. And a 2031 first from the Timberwolves, which, who knows, that could be, a good pick. But, in essence, the Kings, I mean, we'll talk about the Kings later, but the Spurs really didn't give up anything. They didn't give up obviously you're not going to give up Wemby, but they didn't give up Wemby. They didn't give up Keldon Johnson. They didn't give up Sohan. They didn't give up, any of their, actual rotational players. I mean, Trey Jones was playing, Zach Collins was playing, but these aren't dudes you really care about, and you got an all-star from it. As far as the Kings go, I mean, on this channel, I hate on the Kings constantly. It's kind of my favorite thing to do. And once again, I'm hating on the Kings. You looked at the Bulls who put Vucevic, DeRozan, and Zach Lavine together and were the 8th seed every year, and now you decided to make your own slightly better version of it with Zach Lavine, Sabonis, and DeRozan. Although I don't think it is better because DeRozan's worse. So, and instead of Kobe White, you have Malik Monk. The Kings suck. We know the Kings suck. They got a whole bunch of picks, but like I said, those picks aren't really valuable. I don't really know what the Kings' direction was. I feel like trading De'Aaron Fox would mean a rebuild, and they're just going to let Sabonis waste there when Sabonis probably has the most value he's ever had right now. I don't really get this. And Zach Lavine is maybe another trade's coming because I know the Bucks really wanted Zach Lavine, but I don't like this trade from the Kings' perspective. And the Bulls were the biggest loser of this trade. They traded Zach Lavine and got a whole bunch of dudes who have no value and aren't really gonna help them be competitive. It's just dudes like Zach Collins. Zach Collins is the most mid player in the NBA. Trey Jones is alright, and Kevin Huerter is bad at this point. And you traded Zach Lavine, who is your franchise player for 8 years, for that. So overall, just the Spurs walked out as the massive winners. The Spurs are now an actually scary team because De'Aaron Fox, his biggest flaw is that he's not really a great three-point shooter, but you're not surrounding him with a bunch of people who can shoot threes, like Wemby, who has more three-pointers made in his career than dunks, even though he's 7'5". So that duo is great. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I hate the Kings slightly less now because they have three-point shooting, and before they had none, which was their biggest issue. But I don't know. This trade's just bad. I feel like teams are just making trades just to make trades, and at least in this trade, there's a clear winner and a clear motive. The Spurs wanted a like young-ish point guard to put next to Wemby. Chris Paul is kind of just there as like a mentor. He probably has 1 year left after this year that he'll be on the Spurs, and then he's going to retire. And who knows, maybe next year they make a deep playoff run in Chris Paul's last year. But other than that, that's really all I have to say. The Spurs, I could see making the second round this year because they can definitely beat a team like a Memphis or a Houston if they get lucky. They're not beating the Thunder. They're not beating the Nuggets. And they're not beating probably the Mavericks. The Lakers, who the fuck knows? I have no clue what's going on with that team. So that's all I got to talk about. Interesting trade. Hopefully more trades coming out. Jimmy will probably get traded like tomorrow. So I'll be back for that. And if the Bucks or the Knicks make any moves, I'll be here to talk about that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.